You ever have a neighbor who thinks they own everything? Well, let me introduce you to Karen. Karen lives next door. When I moved in, she seemed friendly enough until I started making improvements to my backyard. That's when I saw her true colors. One day, I came home and found my fence was gone, like completely removed. I was confused. Then Karen walks over, all smug, and says, "Oh, I took it down. Your fence was on my property. You'll need to move everything back." Wait, what? I had surveyed my land before moving in. I knew exactly where my property line was. But Karen? She claimed her family had lived here for years and that the property naturally extended past the official survey. She told me, "Just accept it. It's always been this way." I was stunned. Karen just stole my land, and she thought I'd let it slide. Oh, Karen, you messed with the wrong neighbor. I wasn't about to let Karen steal my land, so I did what any reasonable person would do. I showed her the official survey. "See this? The property line is right here. My fence was exactly where it should be." Karen laughed. "Those surveys aren't always accurate. My family's lived here for years. We know the real property line." "Oh, so now we're ignoring legal documents. Cool." Then she doubled down. The next day, I woke up to construction noises. I walked outside and found workers pouring concrete on my land. Karen was building a patio on my property. I ran over. "What the hell are you doing?" She had the audacity to say, "Oh, relax. It's just a little patio. You weren't using the space anyway." I was livid. This wasn't a mistake. She was stealing my property and hoping I wouldn't fight back. Well, guess what? I was done playing nice. If Karen wanted a property war, she was about to get one. I wasn't about to let Karen concrete over my land. So I immediately called the police. An officer showed up and I showed him the survey. I explained that Karen had removed my fence and was building on my land. Karen, she played innocent. "Oh, officer, this is just a misunderstanding. The land was always ours." The cop looked at my documents, then at Karen. "Ma'am, this survey is legally binding. You need to stop construction immediately." Karen's smile vanished. She argued. She complained. She even tried to say I forged the survey. The cop? He wasn't buying it. "If you continue construction, this will be considered trespassing and property damage." Karen flipped out. "This isn't fair. We've always used this land." The officer just shrugged. "Then you should have bought it when you had the chance." Karen had no choice. She ordered the workers to stop. But I wasn't done, because now I was going to make sure she paid for every inch she tried to steal. Karen wasn't happy that the cops shut down her little land grab. But me? I was just getting started. First, I had the construction crew remove everything she built. The patio, gone. The materials, hauled away. Karen came outside screaming, "You can't do this!" Oh, but I could. Then, I put my fence back up. And this time, I made sure it was taller and sturdier than before. Karen, she lost her mind. "You're blocking my view. You're ruining my yard." "It's my property, Karen. Maybe next time don't steal from your neighbors." But here's the best part. Since she had damaged my original fence, I took her to small claims court for the cost of repairs. And guess what? I won. Karen had to pay for the damage she caused. But even after all that, she still wasn't done causing trouble, because next, she called the HOA, and that's when things got really messy. You'd think after losing in court, Karen would back off. Nope. Since she couldn't steal my land, she tried the next best thing, getting the HOA to make my life miserable. One day, I got a notice in my mailbox. Violation. Your fence is too high and disrupts the neighborhood aesthetic. Penalty, $500 fine. I knew exactly who was behind this. Karen. She wanted me to take down my fence so she could start stealing land again. I wasn't having it. I checked the HOA rules. Guess what? There was no rule about fence height. Karen had lied to the HOA board, hoping they'd pressure me. So I showed up to the next HOA meeting with documents proving my fence was legal. And then, I hit them with something even better. I reported Karen for multiple HOA violations, unapproved construction, her illegal patio, property damage, removing my fence, harassment of a neighbor. The board, they weren't happy. Karen, she was about to face her own consequences, because this time, she was the one getting fined. The HOA board wasn't happy when they realized Karen had lied. And when they saw the evidence of her violations, they slammed her with fines, $1,000 for unauthorized construction, $500 for property damage, $250 for harassment. Karen lost it. She screamed at the board, calling them corrupt and saying I had brainwashed them. But the best part? The HOA president just shrugged and said, "Karen, these are your own rules. We're just enforcing them." I thought that would be the end of it. But Karen, she was desperate, and what she did next, it was her biggest mistake yet. I woke up one morning to find something shocking. My fence was destroyed. Again. Someone had come in the middle of the night and ripped it down. I checked my security cameras, and guess who I saw? Karen. She had a crowbar and was yanking my fence apart like a crazy person. I immediately called the police, and this time, Karen wasn't getting off easy. When the cops showed up at her door, she tried playing the victim. "He's harassing me. He's ruining my life." But the officers just played the security footage, and Karen, she went silent. Then, the cop turned to me and said, "Do you want to press charges?" I didn't even hesitate. Absolutely. And just like that, Karen was in serious trouble. The police didn't mess around. Vandalism, criminal trespassing, property destruction. Karen was charged with all of it. She tried begging me to drop the charges. "Please, it was just a mistake. I was emotional." Oh, now she wanted to be reasonable. After months of stealing my land, lying to the HOA and harassing me, I told her no, and when she realized I wasn't backing down, she started crying as the cops put her in handcuffs. The best part? Karen's arrest became the talk of the neighborhood. Suddenly, all those people who thought she was just a sweet old lady, they saw the real Karen. And let's just say, nobody wanted to be her friend anymore. Karen had always acted like she was better than everyone, but after her arrest, her world fell apart. She had to pay for my fence repairs. She got kicked off the HOA board. Her house went up for sale. Why? Because her husband left her. Turns out he had no idea about her little land-stealing scheme, and when he found out she was facing criminal charges, he packed his bags and left. Karen had lost everything. Her money, gone. Her reputation, destroyed. Her home, for sale. And me, I finally got my peace. It took months of fighting, but in the end, Karen learned a hard lesson. If you try to steal from someone, lie, cheat, and manipulate the system, eventually, karma will catch up to you. She moved out a few months later, and the new neighbors, they're great. No land disputes, no crazy drama, just normal, respectful people. And me? I still have the fence standing tall, as a reminder that sometimes the best revenge is letting people destroy themselves. And Karen, she did that perfectly.